Hi, I'm Franck Girardot, 3V Coaching. Welcome to the 13th episode of our series, 50 Good Reasons to Take a New Start. Today, I want to talk about reclaiming possession of your body. Life brings us all kinds of experiences, rich and varied and quite often in very unexpected forms, very surprising. A few days ago, I had a motorcycle accident. I was driving at good speed when suddenly a dog crossed the road, literally throwing itself under my front wheel. So it's a classic here in Bali, but under the shock, my bike went down on the side and I fell directly and quite hardly on my butt. Luckily, I was almost unscathed with only a few minor scratches. In fact, 99% of my body was intact. Only a few square inches, roughly the size of the face of my fist, located just on the sacrum, precisely at the point of impact with the ground, was extremely painful. But painful to the point of reducing my mobility by around 70 to 80%. Interesting. In fact, doubly interesting. First, interesting that a hit to only 1% of my body surface and leading no external evidence can have such a huge impact on the whole functioning of the body. The body is an extraordinarily sophisticated, and when it is operating well, we tend to take it for granted, thinking that it will last forever. Well, that is a big mistake, and sometimes it takes an unexpected and painful event to remind us that only a small disturbance can make the whole system begins to falter. The human body is a machine of great precision that tirelessly serves us, and we need it to live our lives fully. As such, we should be 100 times more careful about how we treat it and how we care for it. So what about you? Are you fully aware of that magic that takes place within yourself at every moment just for you, for your body to work normally? Are you grateful for having such a well-programmed machine at your service every day? Are you fully aware and grateful? Or will it take an accident or illness for you to finally start to pay attention and start to take care of this body of yours? This is the first lesson I take from this bad experience, and I really invite you to come back to it regularly and, if necessary, to get back on track before it's too late. And the second lesson is even more interesting. I mentioned earlier that my mobility was reduced by 70 to 80% as a result of this accident, but what does that mean exactly? After I got over the shock of the fall and the accident, the same day and the following days, I could stand, walk, lay down, sit carefully, painfully though, and only in certain positions. I could squat, but very slowly and experiencing some pain. Same as tying up my shoes or going up and down some stairs. So from the outside, standing in the middle of the crowd, I looked completely normal. But at that moment, inside, I was actually only 20 to 30% of the man I really am. I couldn't run, I couldn't jump, climb, lift any heavy load, take my children in my arms, indulge in my favorite sports, climb a mountain, go over the wall of my house, ride a bike or a motorcycle or any other activity that I normally do almost every day. And for that, I felt terribly handicapped. And as this situation started to last, actually on the second day, I began to see it from a different angle, a different perspective. Because standing up, walking, sitting down, painfully going up and down stairs, moving slowly and carefully, not being able to run or jump or lift heavy, well, isn't it the way most people use their body every day? Is it not the lot of millions of people? And worse yet, is it not somehow considered widely as a normal body condition over the age of 30 or 40 these days? I mean, really? Is our society so sick in its body that we consider normal to live our life as if we would just be recovering from an accident? Is our lifestyle so screwed up and so damaging that it takes away 70 to 80% of our body functions without even us noticing it? And you, where are you at with your body? Do you think you can, if you have to, or even better, if you want to, go for a sprint, run full out for a minute without risking a heart attack or a muscle elongation? Do you feel able, if you have to, or even better, if you want to just climb over the wall of your home rather than go through the door? Do you feel able to just throw a child up in the air and catch him in your arms, play leapfrog with him, climb trees with him, or go out with him for a night under the stars? Well, I can hear the complaints and the excuses from here, like, oh, my back, my heart, my asthma, my hernia, my tendinitis, my rheumatism, my knees, my shoulders, my wrists. All the minor injuries that are now part of your life and put blocks and limits to what you can do. And even worse, fatigue, too tired, don't feel like it, no more desire, no more excitement. Seemingly normal, but in reality, only 20% of what you should be, 20% of your true self. Is it enough for you? Is that sufficient to live the life you want? Well, your answer to this question is obviously up to you, but for me, I can tell you the answer is a plain no. And especially now, having gone through this experience and having measured the huge difference between a life lived to 100% of my physical abilities and another life made of frustrations, obstacles, and limitation, which is living at only 20% of my ability. No, no, and a final no. And you too should say no, because you too can recover 100% of your physical abilities. You too, whatever your age, current fitness level, whether or not you've been active in the past, or whatever the small pains and physical limitations you've been carrying for years, you can reclaim 100% of your abilities and be able to feel 100% alive. You just have to make the decision and get back to movement. Obviously, taking into account your possibilities of the moment, but the main thing is to get back to it and accept no excuse. Find the appropriate form, but do something. Move. Whatever happens, keep moving. Reclaiming your body is indeed a very good reason to make a new start. So, if you're wondering how, at what rate, what exercise to practice, please contact me on 3vcoaching.com or ask your question on the Facebook page 3V Coaching International. And stay connected to this YouTube channel, because later this month I will post some short videos showing different forms of movements for very effective and accessible to all, actually taken from the course Athlete of Life that I run several times a year in Paris, and I will actually do one later on in October. So for the rest of this series, I will see you on Wednesday. Until then, live well, work hard, have fun, and be good.